Hi, I'm Sonia Doubell, and we are here with Stephen Russell, also known as the Barefoot Doctor. So Stephen is an author, many colours to this hat, an author, a doctor, a healer, and uses the Taoism philosophy for most of his teachings. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what I really want us to talk about today is how the tools that we can use when we are in a state of anxiety and worry in our lives. What things can we do to get out of that? What do you do, Stephen, when you're in a place where you find yourself actually moving into a cycle or a pattern that maybe you're just worrying a lot? What do you do to get out of that?
A variety of things. And there are no universal laws as how to deal with any particular feeling, because at different times different things are going to trigger it with different people, different moods, different lights, different climates, all sorts, you know.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, if one can do such a thing, when I get anxious, I know it's because my kidney energy is low. Because when you get anxious, it's because your kidney energy is low.
Okay.
That's just a basic rule of Taoist medicine. And conversely, if you strengthen the kidney energy, the anxiety drops away, regardless of what you think you're anxious about.
Yeah.
Secondly, I remind myself that the anxiety that I am feeling, which I'm generally feeling around in my belly,
Yeah.
is something that I'm generating, even if it doesn't feel like that. I'm generating, nothing and no one else did, because the feeling it's giving me is making me feel alive. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. It's a bit like a cocaine addiction, except it's cortisol being released from the adrenal glands, and that's addictive. So we get addicted to it, so we generate anxiety. We do that by worrying about things, by just slipping into an anxious mode. That causes the kidneys to contract, which makes more anxiety come through. It's all about cortisol addiction. And because I've learned over the years to sort of wean myself off that, and I've understood that the antidote, or the opposite, the natural state, is one of feeling at peace and loving being alive in this moment. I've realised that whenever I project into the future, for anything other than specifically to visualise and therefore manifest something, if it's just random projection into the future, it leads to anxiety. So if I start worrying about, well, what happens after that, when that thing's done? What if I don't make that happen, and then that, and then you know, the stuff that you do, you go on this trail of negative, fearful thinking. It's not going to really benefit me in any way whatsoever. So I've learned over the years to stay with where I am now. And in this moment, as we sit here together, you sit there watching it, everything's fine. We have everything. In this moment, it's complete. And stay with that, breathe with that, be with the anxiety, because if that's what you're getting off on, let it happen, you know. But breathe with it, try and relax your body around where the anxiety is, be where you are, and love being alive, because the opposite of that is not being here. We don't know what that's like, so while we're here, nice to enjoy every minute of it, because an asteroid could land on our heads tomorrow, in an hour, in a minute even, and that's it, bang.
So I like that. So there's that you first recognise that it's a physicality. Often people are addicted to worry and anxiety. You know, you get this, businessman racing through life, and he's really addicted to that energy. But does that energy serve any good? I mean, does that energy serve any good? There is an element of yes, but for the most part, no. I mean, for the most part, what we really want to be doing is relaxing. What we really want to be doing, if we want to change the feeling of worry and anxiety, is relaxing and then changing our attitude towards how we are visualizing the situations in our lives that are causing. Maybe it's a money problem, maybe it's a children problem, maybe there's just this anxiety and fear and you just can't even explain it. But that's one of a physicality, and two, an emotional energy. Is that correct, would you say?
Yeah, well, and an energetic one.
So you tend to just try and relax yourself, calm and relax.
No, not just. That's one of the things I do. The first thing is acknowledging, there is anxiety, I'm producing anxiety. Relax my kidneys, let them go. I can use sound to do it. There's a kidney healing sound, which is this. It's a bit funny. It goes, and as I do that, the heat goes into my kidneys and I can feel it there. You probably could feel it from
I
the
can
sound
feel
itself.
that.
Well, it does
I can
that.
feel the vibrational
Yeah.
energy of that.
And you can even just think the sound. You don't even have to make it, and it warms the kidneys up. So, but mostly it's about getting your mind just to get the lower back area to let go, because you're gripping otherwise. With that, your whole pelvic floor relaxes and you're open. Then you stop holding your breath. Obviously, that's the next thing. Because when we're anxious, we hold the breath as if to hold the
Reject
world
life.
still.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and keep it all still so it doesn't move it. Relax and let the breathing flow. The anxiety, you will be feeling it in your belly. So as you breathe, you soften there, and then you say to yourself, look, it's totally okay to have this anxiety if I'm finding it enjoyable, that's fine. It's me who's generating it, and I'm doing it, not because I'm an idiot, but because it makes me feel alive. Alright, let's go for it with this anxiety then, if that's what we're going to do. Let's enjoy it, this drug, this cortisol. And doing that tends to make it dissipate anyway, because you know how everything is. If you want something to stay the same, it changes. So,
you know, I love that. I love that the Taoism philosophy about recently I heard when the dog is chasing you, turn around and
chase
whistle
the dog.
for it.
Oh, right.
Call it. And it's almost like this energy, you know, that when things are, you're really scared of something or you think there's something coming for you, you know what, just be strong, and instead of even just standing still, go for that energy. Talk about that philosophy, because I really love that. That's a lot with your martial arts.
Yeah. Well, as you're saying it, what springs to mind is that here we sit, stand, whatever, in the midst of this existence.
Yes.
It looks like we're going on a journey. Actually, we're just being. We're here. And things arise out of nothing and then disappear again. Like kind of sets in a theatre or acts in a play. Things just arise. Suddenly there's an action, sort of a piece of action. You meet a group of people, or there's something happens, or whatever, and you sit and you watch, you go, oh, really interesting, really entertaining. It comes and it goes. What happens is that when we resist something, like say the actors come on stage, and they seem a bit nasty and horrible, and the action's a bit horrible, and you go, no, I don't want it to be like this, it can't be like this, it's meant to be nice. And the more you fight with it, the more they remain on stage, till you finally go, oh yeah, no, that was really cool, that was a really nice piece of acting. Good bit, that was a good bit in the theatre, the nasty bit. Thank you for that. It reminded me of the nasty bit. Bless you, nasty bit. The nasty bit takes a bow because you've got the message and goes off stage. And then the beautiful bit comes on instead.
I love that. I love that.
It's like you've got to acknowledge it by going, yeah, okay, I surrender. I get it, that you are God, the Tao, the Buddha, whatever, in that form. So if somebody in your life is acting in an antagonistic way, it's like you first you take it personally, then you can become transpersonal. You think, no, this is the God, this is the Tao talking to me in that shape. And what is it telling me? Well, it's telling me that I'm doing that to myself. Thank you for showing me that. Bless you for coming like this. And somehow that enables them to pass on, because they think, okay, you got the message, bye, go now. And a new piece of action comes.
You know, that is so beautiful. I love that, because it's almost when you move into the mindset of realizing that all the good and all the bad, and these are just judgments, but if those are your judgments, all the good stuff and all the bad stuff are our teacher. And that as soon as they come, instead of judging them, resisting them, you have a dialogue, like, okay, what am I meant to be getting from this? What am I learning here? And how can I practice my stillness with this? How can I be with it? And it's, again, I have to just talk about Rumi. You know, when he said this being human is like a guest house, and every day a new guest, you know, happiness, anger, sorrow. Welcome the guests into the house. And even if it's a guest that is like a tornado that sweeps clean your house, welcome it, for that is your biggest teacher. And it feels like the acceptance of all things would allow us to move through all things in a more peaceful experience of life.
In a less jerky way. I think what in Taoism they talk about learning to transcend preferences, which is what you're talking about, because you have the yin and you have the yang. But the yin is like the contracted, difficult, where you would say bad maybe, that force of oh. And then yang is expansive and big and beautiful and easy.
Yes.
And the two cycle round each other. And you know that when it gets really difficult, that this most difficult point, it's going to start undoing and become easier and easier. And then it's going to get to its fullness and you're going to go, well, I've really got it now. And that's when it starts to shrink again and go back again. So you learn to stand somehow in the middle, observing, going, not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, all beautiful because I'm alive and thank you for this amazing gift.
Yeah.
But it's like, even the shitty bits are beautiful, because it's like, you can find the Tao in the lowliest turd as much as you can on the loftiest mountain peak. You know, it's like everything is Tao, everything is magic, everything is a miracle. Yes. And learning to love it, like, love everything. And it's hard, it's a discipline.
Yeah.
The other side of that, which I think is even more important in a way, is that I do this every day. All of this, all these people in my life, all the people that are causing me jip, all the people that I'm a bit afraid of, all the things that I'm afraid could go wrong, all the things that are going right, everything that I'm seeing and feeling, this whole universe, my reactions to it, the whole cosmos, all of it, this is the Tao loving me with all its heart and soul and might. Yeah. And this, in my however imperfect state, is me loving the Tao with all my heart and soul and mind. And that's how I begin the day. And I don't try and make it do anything, it just sort of sometimes it does. And when it does, it's this amazing surrender to what is.
That's amazing.
And there's one more thing I would like to say, because this is something
I think you should.
At the tender age of 57, I've only just started really learning. There are certain things, questions that one asks, because you were saying before, how do I find stillness in it? You know, these kind of questions we ask ourselves. Yes. That don't actually need to be answered. That asking a question is all that has to happen. Then the subconscious will give you the answers when it's ready. Yeah. So the one I do a lot is, if this is the last month of my life, am I living it and I want to live it? And I used to try and answer the question. It was like, yes I am, well maybe I'm not. Yes I am, yes I am. Yeah. And now I've learned to not even try and answer. So, is it? And I just let it sit there. And over the days that follow, it comes, yeah man, this is how you should be. Yeah, exactly how you want to be living it. And any question, like, what is my purpose here? How can I serve here? Just ask the question. Don't try and make the answer come. It will come on its own.
Yeah, just ask the question and then just relax. It's almost like that thing that you can't remember and you're like trying so hard to find it, and then you're doing something really mundane and it just comes to you. And it's like your subconscious works for you, but you've got to ask the right questions, right? I mean, this is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we might not be always asking the right questions, the questions that evoke the subconscious to come up with really gems. So there's a lot in that, to ask the right questions. I love that philosophy. I love that philosophy of just letting go and going with it, and that can really help you to handle things in your life in a different way. Worry, stress, anxiety, because you no longer see them as big grisly bears. You just see them as, you know, parts of life that, you know, today you're climbing up the hill, tomorrow you're climbing down, and it's just kind of going with the flows of it.
And also being aware, because this is the next thing I tend to do, is that what you focus on grows. So if you're allowing yourself to indulge a whole movie of fearful images, you're focusing on them and you'll make that grow. And if you keep doing that, those things will, life, as you said before, it's a mirror. It will start mirroring those back at you. So it's like, well, okay, what do I want to focus on? It's not all that, is it? There's all this beautiful stuff going on too. Okay, so might not have much money at the moment, but I have got £10 or $10. Okay, that's my abundance. Focus on that and then see that growing. And then that does start to happen. So you focus on what you want rather than what, because if you focus on what you don't want, it's like praying for it.
Oh, yes, I'm so glad you said that, because it's so true. It's like praying for it. Because most of the time, worry is not because you're thinking of what the great things that could happen, but because you're thinking of the potential of the worst situation. So you sit there in the state of anxiety, worry and panic because you're thinking about that worst situation that could possibly happen. And then all of a sudden, you create those situations because it's all you're focusing on. So your mind is so powerful that you're manifesting this thing that you're continuously thinking about. So ways to change it.
So then this is the final step, I guess, which is, what's my intention then? What do I intend here? And sometimes, most of the time, you don't even have to think about it much. It's just obvious. Like, okay, so I'm sitting worrying about my life, and it's making me feel really stressed. Obviously, that's because I'm addicted to the cortisol. Okay, so if I breathe, I relax, I start to calm down. I realise that what I'm focusing on grows. So what do I want to focus on? I want to focus on the opposite of the fearful thoughts, which is the life working out. What do I actually want to manifest for myself? What's my intention? Well, it's to feel comfortable, safe, sound, healthy, strong, confident, loved, loving, part of the beautiful flow of life, and loving just enjoying my life, being here and contributing something, being part of the human experiment in a great way. That's what I want. Okay, so that's what the state I manifest in myself. That's easy. You know, we can all manifest a new state by choosing it. And then when you manifest the state, life starts giving you little gifts as a reward. To say, yeah, you got it. People will phone you up and give you opportunities, and you get invited to parties, all sorts of things happen.
Love it.
Yeah. Is that clear enough?
So clear. I think you guys are going to all get that. That was so clear. That was really great, because that's exactly what it is. And in the beginning, even if you're kind of not down with this whole life is a mirror, thoughts become things, manifesting, just try it. And after you do it, it's a leap of faith, I'm suggesting that you maybe take. And then after you do it just once or twice, you'll start to realize, oh my God, this really works. And even if you're in a place where you think, there is nothing to be happy about, this is going down, you've always got something. And just sit, even if that something is, thank you for my bed that I'm lying on, even though I can't sleep because I'm worried. Thank you for the food that I'm eating. Just keep finding little things. Even thank you for this day. It could be raining or sunny. Keep the mantra of gratitude, and life will send you more to be gratitude for.
And in fact, you say little things, but they're not. I mean, having a mind, having a body, having a world to live in, these things are huge. Amazing, huge gifts.
They are huge gifts, and I know that sometimes when you're not conscious of that, gift of simplicity, you often bypass it and ignore it. So they are really, really, really big.
Can I tell your watchers about the Big Om?
Please, the Big Om.
Well, whoever you are who's been watching this, bless you for doing so. The Big Om is an event that is happening on 12/12/12 at Wembley Arena in London, which is a power spot on the planet, where there will be 12,500 people, and we're going to take you on a 5-hour journey. It's going to be like an Ibiza Star Super Club, because I lived in Ibiza, who I kind of still do. And with some of the world's finest electronic dance music, DJs, bands and so on. Various gurus, including myself, providing narrative along the way, little interventions of narrative, to induce the altered state, culminating in all 12,500 people chanting the sacred Om. But for a long time, and fed back through the sound system and underscored by pulses and all kinds, and it's good with amazing lighting and visuals. Well, even if you have 20 people, you know what that's like. 20 people, 10 people doing that together, it's beautiful. When you get 12,500, it's never been done, I don't think.
This is going to be a new Burning Man for London. This is going to be all these people together. I mean, wherever you are, New York, Hong Kong, this is 12/12/12. It's such a sacred time of shift of consciousness for everybody, and this is so exciting. It's representational of that, and it's a sound journey. It's a 5-hour sound journey that takes you through this spiritual embodiment of humanity.
Yes, and we'll be majorly healing for anyone there, and I believe we'll send out a healing sound wave that will affect the whole planet. And then 2013 we're going to go around the world with it. But it's going to be amazing. And if you go to thebigom.org, that's thebigom.org, thebigom.org, there's a great animation that gives you a clue, and you can get involved there and get tickets and all the rest of it. Bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you
too.
so much. It's
really,
been really lovely, and I love your wisdom. Thank you very much. So I hope that we see you all at the Big Om. It's going to be amazing.